Hello, I guess it's YouTube. I don't know. Right now I'm just doing practices. Because, like, well, I know a lot of people are going to watch this one. You know, it's going to be a good one. And it's, like, educational. So, hello, kind of YouTube. We'll see. But, yeah, today, this is for my, U.S. history project. So, today I'm going to be talking about Kurt Cobain. And, yeah, so Kurt Cobain, he was the lead singer of Nirvana, which was, like a band, yeah. Gosh, like, I don't know how I'm gonna, it's gonna be such a long, there's so much to talk about. Anyway, okay, so, on the paper that I read, what I'm supposed to talk about, really, it says that, like what makes him, iconic. And Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, I mean, they were basically the start of the grunge movement of the 90s, which was this rebellious, they've always had punk rock, but this was more of heavy metal, had a baby with garage rock. And I'm not a big grunge fan, but it's a really iconic thing in the 90s. People are whenever they hear it, they're like, oh, that's such a white people thing. And, it kind of is. I'll embrace it. It's a really white people thing. But hey, it's whatever. But anyways, so that was the big thing that Kurt brought, He brought this loud, rebellious, young, teenage angst up and about and made it much more prevalent than ever. And, his life, it was a really interesting life of his. I mean, it was a tragic life. Spoilers, he dies. Yeah. But he started off, just like a normal kid, and then his parents got divorced. But unlike most people, I mean, this, it really messed him up, and, he couldn't live with his parents anymore. He started getting really rebellious. Eventually, he wasn't doing good in school, just failing all that crap. And eventually, he turned to music. And music was the first thing in his life that really made sense to him. And so, he was doing drugs, failing school, gonna drop out. But music, he studied for music. He went every day for music. And eventually, he started his own band with one of his friends. And, it was called Nirvana. And so it was small and stuff. It's just, there's so much to talk about. But anyways, they get really big. I mean, they've won, or he's won, a Grammy. They've won all these awards. Really famous. But, of course, he was still a really emotional guy. And, really depressed all the time. Always threatening to kill himself. He just wasn't a mentally fair guy. I mean, people have their down moments, but his whole life was a down moment, really. I mean, sorry, Kurt, I just kind of roasted you, but you know what I mean. So anyways, he grew up in Washington, and he shot himself in the head with a shotgun. So you could say that was mind-blowing. I hate my life. So yeah, he did that. And, but there's all these, conspiracy theories that he didn't actually do it because his arm span couldn't have, shot the gun. He would have had to use his foot, and that would have been really awkward unless you're, shooting someone, you're bop, 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 bop. And even that's pretty weird. I mean, you'd see that in, The Matrix, maybe, but I don't even know. I don't think Kurt could do that. But he was a really iconic figurehead. His liberal stuff, he was basically trying to reverse this Reagan movement of conservatism. Everyone was, with Reagan, instead of all the hippie movement, it got back into the, conserved, reserved look, respect that, all that crap, And, since he was this rebel and stuff, and it doesn't even sound that crazy, but at the time, it was all these crazy teenagers. He's probably a communist or something. I don't know. But he sang about stuff that, I mean, now he did sing about crap stuff and just screaming, but you know, when he said don't, you know, make fun of the gay kid in a song, people stop making fun of the gay kids at their school. You know what I mean? He spoke to the teenage youth and really got them to listen, which is a pretty impressive thing. So he definitely was a I'm blanking. I don't know words. Inspiring. He was an inspiring guy, and you know, his songs I kind of liked. You know, Nirvana was pretty good. I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. You know, a little too much raspiness, a little too much angst. I mean, they kind of give me the school shooter vibe. You know, I'm not really into that, but you know, they're fun to listen to every now and then. But you know, yeah, you know, he was a cool dude, and he's inspiring and stuff. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna redo this and like plan out more facts, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, you know, like and subscribe for another and all that stuff. My Purell, I ran out. It's gone. So sorry, no Purell anymore. But peace.